Hello, and welcome to the Kennel Connection training video on tracking and managing vaccinations in the Kennel Connection program. We're going to be looking at how to create vaccinations in the system, document the information on pets, track that information, and contact customers regarding the vaccination status of their pets. The first thing we want to do is set up vaccinations in the program. To do that, we're going to go to the File tab, and then in the Setup section, select Lists. In the List section, we're going to select the Vaccinations tab. This is where we create vaccinations in the system. To create a vaccination, click New Vax, enter the name of the vaccination, the description if needed, whether or not it's required, and whether or not it's a feline vaccine, and the duration during which that vaccination is valid. I'm just going to put in 1 year here as an example. Then select Save to save that vaccination. When entering rabies vaccinations into Kennel Connection, Kennel Connection has a default setup for rabies 1 year and 3 year. When entering your rabies 1 year and rabies 3 year vaccinations, make sure to select the type accurately for 1 year and 3 year. For all other vaccinations, you'll want to select Other as the type. With rabies 1 year and 3 year selected properly, Kennel Connection will ignore the one rabies vaccination when the other is selected for a pet. And we'll see that in action as we go to the pet cards to take a look. Once you've entered your vaccines into Kennel Connection, you'll want to add the vaccination information to the pet card. On the pet card, go to the Vaccination tab. Here is where we can enter the vaccines for each pet and the vaccination date and/or expiration date. If you have any vaccinations that are marked as required in the list section, they will automatically appear on the pet card in purple until they have had a vaccination date entered. Vaccinations that aren't marked as required can be added separately by selecting the drop-down. You'll notice that rabies 1 year, or as I just have it marked here, rabies, has a valid expiration date, and because of that, the system is not flagging rabies 3 year as a required vaccination. If we open up a pet that does not have the rabies vaccination entered, you'll notice the system will show 1 year and 3 year until one of them has had a valid expiration date entered. As you can see, all of the required vaccinations are showing on this pet, so all new pets you will create will have all the required vaccines showing, awaiting the vaccination dates to be entered. We'll also notice that when I'm entering these cards, if there is vaccination information missing, I'm receiving a prompt. We're going to be looking at the settings to create some of those prompts shortly. When entering the vaccination information for the pet, we have two options. The first option is to just enter the expiration date. The other option we have is to enter the vaccination date and let Kennel Connection calculate the expiration date based on the information set in the lists section. So for Bordetella, for example, I have it set at a 1 year range. So if I enter the date of the vaccination as 11/2/2016, I will tab over, and Kennel Connection will automatically calculate that expiration date for 1 year from that date. And now that I've entered an expiration date for this that shows this vaccine being valid, if I save this pet card, close it and reopen it, we'll notice on the Vaccination tab that Bordetella is no longer in purple, and this pet has all valid vaccination information. Another area where you can enter a pet's vaccination information is on a reservation. We'll use the daycare schedule as an example, but this option is available for reservations on all modules. In the reservation, go to the Vaccinations tab. The pet's current vaccination information is going to appear here, and we can also modify this information on the reservation. Any modifications made to the vaccination status on the reservation will be saved on the pet card. You'll also notice that we have the option for copy vaccination date and copy expiration date. This is a time-saving device for entering multiple vaccinations with the same vaccination date or expiration date. All we have to do is select the vaccination and click Copy Vaccination Date, and you'll notice that the vaccination date has been copied to all of the vaccinations below the one selected. The same thing can be done for the expiration date. Again, copying that date to all vaccinations below the one selected. Now we're going to take a look at how to set up some of those prompts that I mentioned before and that we've seen popping up on the screen to help us flag pets that have expired or missing vaccination information when accessing the pet card, the customer card, or creating reservations. To do that, from the File tab, we're going to go to the Setup section and go into System Options. In the System Options section, we're going to go to the Local tab. The Local tab affects settings only for the computer you're currently on. So if you're using Kennel Connection on multiple computers on a network, you'll want to access the Local tab and System Options on each computer individually, and this will also give you the option to set those options separately on each computer. And as you can see over here, the second option down on the left is Show Vaccination Warning Messages. With this option checked, when opening a pet card or creating a reservation, if that pet is missing a required vaccination or has an expired vaccination, the prompt will appear on the screen indicating that there is a vaccination that requires further attention. So if I open up Alpha here, for example, that alert pops up telling us that there is missing required vaccination information, as we saw before. And the same thing will occur if I try to make a reservation for this pet. I will be warned about that. Another option for indicating that a pet is missing required vaccination information is the vaccination column on the schedule. This option is available on other schedules as well. This one was showing on the daycare schedule. And any pet on the schedule that is missing a required vaccination or has an expired vaccination, a checkbox will appear in the vaccination column indicating that this pet has expired or missing vaccination information. If for any reason you want to temporarily disable the prompts indicating that pets are missing vaccination information, you can do so on a schedule by checking the Disable Vaccination Warnings for this session. This option will only remain checked while the daycare schedule or the schedule you're on is open. If I close the schedule and reopen it, the option is now unchecked again. One of the ways that you can inform customers of their current vaccination status is through confirmation emails. If we go to the File tab, the Setup section, and then open Business Info, we can go to the Email tab And under the email tab, we'll have a tab for each module in the system. For each module, we have the option to send confirmation emails automatically when a reservation is created for that pet. With the confirmation emails, you also have the option to include vaccination status. This will include a list of all the vaccines recorded for that pet and the expiration dates on file in the confirmation email that goes to that customer. This is an easy and convenient way to keep customers updated on the status of their pet's vaccinations. We also have the option to send emails to customers whose pets have expiring vaccinations. Before we go to how to do that, while we're in the email tab of Business Info, we're going to go to the Special Emails tab. Under here, we have an option for vaccination expiration. Here you can enter a message to include with a vaccination expiration email when those are sent. So if there are any additional instructions you want to give the customer besides just the information that there is an expired vaccination, you can enter that information here. If you leave this message screen blank, the default email just indicating the expiring vaccination will be sent. So the next area we're going to go to is the Reports tab at the top of Kennel Connection. And then we're going to go to the List section. In the List section, we're going to go down to Expired Vaccinations. The Expired Vaccinations report gives us the option to choose a date range. Then, when we run the report, any pets that have a vaccination expiring within the date range selected will be flagged and listed in whatever version of this report we run. So for example, if we want to make sure that we are notifying all customers who have vaccinations expiring in the month of December, I would choose 12/1 through 12/31 and then run that report. Any customers who have a pet with an expiration date within that date range will be added to the list or sent the email if we send the emails. Because this report is date specific, the report will not include a customer if their pet does not have vaccination information for a required vaccination. This is only to indicate that a vaccination that has information in the system is going to expire within the date range selected. When running this report, we can also do it for all pets in the system or only pets that have appointments scheduled in the system. And we can also choose this, run the report for email. If we do that, the system will automatically email all customers whose pets have expiring vaccinations within that date range. We also have the option to list clients without email addresses, effectively creating a call list for you to contact customers that do not have email. We also have the option under the List section of reports to run a vaccination letter. This will print a full letter that you can mail to the customer about upcoming vaccination expirations. Just choose the number of copies you want to print and the date range for the expired vaccination. With all of this combined, Kennel Connection 6 gives you the ability to easily record and track vaccinations for pets coming into your facility, with multiple ways to both indicate a pet requires vaccination information, as well as multiple ways to contact customers regarding their pet's vaccination status. Just to recap, we looked at how to set up vaccinations in the List section, how to update that vaccination information for pets on the pet card, as well as on a reservation, how alerts in the system can be set up to indicate that pets are missing vaccination information when accessing either the pet card or the schedules, how to set up automatic sharing of vaccination information with customers through confirmation emails, and how to run reports to indicate pets with expiring vaccinations and how to contact customers about those expiring vaccinations. If you have any further questions regarding the tracking and management of vaccinations in Kennel Connection 6, please feel free to contact the training department at Blue Crystal Software directly. You can do so by emailing training@bluecrystalsoftware.com, or you can call us at 888-486-4343, extension 307.